Yo, it is Tyro, and today we're going to talk about what if Naruto was in Demon Slayer, the movie. I hope you guys enjoy this what if. And without any further ado, get your popcorn, get all that, and enjoy the 2 hour long movie, bro. What's going on, guys? It's Tyro here, and today we're talking about what if Naruto was in Demon Slayer. I hope you guys enjoy, but before we get into that, I gotta explain a few things right here. Number one, Naruto's gonna be half demon because of his mom, which would be known as the Demon Fox, which means he will have a blood demon art called Dying Tails, which is basically just a booster of strength, durability, enhance all of his stats. We also have to talk about Naruto's breathing style. He's gonna have a unique one called storm breathing. Storm breathing is gonna have 5 forms, which I'll explain right now. Form 1, which is just piercing wind. Basically, it's a forward horizontal slash. That's all of it. But second form is Eye of Storm, which basically is when Naruto closes his eyes or is blind, and uses the slight change in the wind to find out where his opponent is, and then eventually will strike that spot. Third form is Flying Fujin. Basically, Flying Fujin is just like the horizontal water wheel, but it's more longer, more powerful. And the fourth form is Raiden's Wrath, which basically is a Naruto jumping, which leads to a powerful vertical strike. And fifth form is Sky Dragon Dance, which consistently is consistent rotating slashes. It could be anything as long as he is rotating to gain momentum. Basically, that is it for his forms, and now we will get into the story. I hope you guys enjoy. We open up with a 13-year-old Naruto. This Naruto had dirty blonde hair, but hints of red would be scattered across. He had a bright orange jacket with a black shirt underneath. He also had black-orange pants with blue shoes, but the toes were revealing. He was practicing some form of thunder style, as he would repeatedly yell, thunderclap, and flash, and would also have to recite all of his wind style techniques as well. He would be called into the house as we are revealed that there are 4 people in there. A man who looked closely like Naruto with bright yellow hair. "Come on, my son, sit next to me." He would pat beside him in between another woman. She had blood red hair, it was long, and it flew like a river. "Come here, Naruto, it's time for dinner." Across from them, there was a man with flaming hair, orange and red hair, with a cloak on that said Hashira on the back, and a man with dark black hair with dark blue eyes. As the adults begin to talk, Naruto would just eat his food and listen. "Congratulations on becoming the Thunder Hashira, Minato. I envy your progress." The man with the flaming hair spoke. Minato would then reply, "It's okay, Kojiro. I thank you, but to be honest, being a Hashira is a deadly occupation. I hope one day I can retire and just spend my days with Kushina, but until then I'll do my best." As Kojiro and Goku would smile and take a bite while yelling "tasty," and as Kushina would smile, "Thank you, I'm glad you enjoy the food I cooked." As Naruto would then repeat this, "Tasty!" Everybody would give a little chuckle. As the man with the dark hair, I'm pretty sure the previous Thunder Pillar would be so proud. Hopefully he's having better days. As Minato would then have a slight frown. "The last I left him, he was training 2 students. One was very arrogant, seemed like he couldn't wait for anything. And the other one was timid, scared almost all the time, and didn't even like training. To be honest, he has a lot of stuff in his hands. But I trust him that he can train the future generation. As he would then look at the man with the dark hair. How is Urokodaki these days, Gyu? Gyu would then respond. He's doing fine. I direct a new student towards his way. His name is Tanjiro Kamado. Sadly, his family passed away to a demon, and his sister happens to be a demon as well. But he promises that he'll carry her wherever he goes. From the letters I'm getting from my sensei, Urokodaki, it seems like the demon girl is in a deep sleep, and Tanjiro is training hard to learn the water style. Right now, he just learned the fifth form. Minato would smile. Yes. Although Naruto hasn't mastered any of the forms yet, I am confident that he will. I am also confident that he's able to make his own forms, styles, breathing styles. We haven't really seen what his sword looks like, so we don't have a good idea of how to train him. As Gyu would then smile, I assume this boy's, Tanjiro's sword should be red. His family seemed to work close to fire anyway. As Minato would then give a slight chuckle. You said Kamado, right? Wasn't there another Tanjiro Kamado that we knew? Well, at least my father knew of. As Gyu would then sigh. I don't know. I don't really look towards these things anyway. We should be celebrating you being Hashira instead of talking about other people. As Minato would give a slight chuckle. I don't like the attention on me anyway. As Naruto would then ask if Gyu and Rengoku can teach him the water and flame breathing. As Naruto would then proudly proclaim, she's going to be the next Hashira, but not with a specific type. He's going to be the Hashira of every single style. As Kojo and Goku would then smile. Don't get ahead of yourself. Your body can only handle a certain amount of styles. You're training with the thunder and wind style, aren't you, Minato? As Minato would then slightly smile. Yeah, I am. Well, we are. But to be honest, he can't use it at the same time. His body can't handle it. As Naruto would then state, I'll make my own breathing style then, and become the greatest Hashira. As everybody would chuckle. As Kushina would then finally speak. Sit down, boy. You're not gonna be able to be a Hashira if you don't eat. As Kojo and Goku would then ask Krishna, how are you these days? I understand being a demon is hard, especially since you can't really go outside. She states, I almost got killed today by a demon slayer. It was on accident. They didn't know that I was married to the Thunder Hashira. Minato saved my life. Again. I'm getting tired of it. I can't fight back. I don't want to kill anyone. As Gyu would then state, to be honest, the only reason why I didn't kill the boy's sister is because she reminded me of you. Besides, she wasn't a mindless demon. She clearly had an intention to protect the boy that she was just trying to kill. To be honest, if I didn't know you, I probably would have killed her. So, I guess that Tanjiro boy has you to thank for his sisters still breathing to this day. As she would then state, well, let's go to Urokodaki sometime. Maybe I'll get to meet this boy. He seems nice. As Naruto would then state, yeah, Tanjiro Kamado, was it? When I meet him, I want to fight him. As Minato would then grab Naruto by the head. Alright, I think it's time for you to go to bed. Naruto would then state, but the sun hasn't even set down yet. It's not even dawn. As he would look out the window, and it appears to be at a twilight state. Oh. Whatever. As he would storm off into his room, but not in a pouty way, more of a, yeah, I know you're right way. Minato would chuckle. That boy has a flaming spirit. To be honest, I think he'd be way better at flame style or water style, if anything. as Kojiro then smiled. Hey, he's your son. You can train him however you want. It doesn't really matter how the student feels at the beginning, as long as you know he can do it. You just have to set your heart ablaze and teach him in the way that you know how. As Minato would then chuckle, set your heart ablaze. What the best statement I've ever heard. Gyu would then look out. Yes, it's getting towards twilight now. I should be heading home. It is far away from here, so I should be going now. I'll probably get there by midnight, which means I'll encounter some demons. As Kojiro and Goku would then state, then you're gonna need extra protection. As Gyu would then look at Kojiro in a more of a dismeanor way. I'm a Hashira. I think I can take care of myself, but thank you. As he would walk out and begin to run, Kojiro and Goku would then get up and get out as well. I should be taking my leave too. My younger brother. He probably needs my help with cooking. I'll see you later, Minato. And remember, stay safe. As Kojiro and Goku would blast through the forest. Hours later, Naruto, Kushina, and Minato are all asleep. But then Minato suddenly wakes up, same with Kushina. Kushina could feel a slight change in the air, like there's a fourth person in the house. Minato, with lightning fast reflexes, got his sword and walked into the living room. He saw a man with a coat and a hat. You're Muzan, aren't you? As the man wouldn't speak, simply would just attack. Kojiro would then state, thunder breathing, secret form, the flying Raijin. As he would appear behind Muzan and have a strike at his back, he would screech. As then he would yell at Kushina, get Naruto and leave now! As she would grab Naruto, he would wake up not knowing what's happening. She would state, there's a demon in the house. Your father's taking care of it, but we have to go. As Naruto would then state, wait, if there's a demon, then I can help. As she senses, no, you cannot help. He's too powerful. I don't think your father can make it. She runs, dashing straight for Urokodaki's, who happened to be 2 mountains away. But she used her blood demon art, Ninetales, to give her a boost. Muzan and Minato's fight lasted for a good 30 minutes, until eventually Minato was impaled by Muzan's fist. But he made sure to give a signal that he was about to die. He had on his sword and used his lightning breathing to throw the sword away. But thanks to the lightning breathing technique, he was able to pinpoint the location of where Kushina is, and therefore Kushina would realize. As she's running, a sword will blow past her. She recognizes it as Minato's sword. She then realizes the sad truth. He only does that as long as he's in trouble. And she would then grab the sword and continue to run. She would get around to where Urokodaki is, to the point where Tanjiro can spot her. His first idea is to try and attack her, but he realizes she's carrying a boy and she's running directly for Urokodaki. He runs up to Kushina, asking her what her business is, as she states, I need Urokodaki. Look, my son, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Just grab him. Take him, please. As Tanjiro would grab Naruto. He's around my age. As she would then state, make sure Naruto takes this sword. It's his father's. Tell him that he is the son of Minato Namikaze, the Thunder Pillar. As he would then realize, wait, that means you're Kushina. You're the Red Hot Habanero, aren't you? As she then states, yes. Right now, his father's in trouble. I need to get back. Then Tanjiro would ask, wait. But you're a demon. Which makes Naruto, she would then sigh, listen, Naruto's half demon. Luckily, he takes more of his father's side. He can be in the sun, and he doesn't eat humans. He only inherited my blood demon arc and my regeneration. Listen, I need you to take him to Urokodaki where he's safe. I had to go back and lead that demon that killed my husband away from this place. As she would run off. She'd go back to Tanjiro, but one last time. Make sure to tell Naruto I love him. And that I didn't mean to do this. That I didn't abandon him. Tanjiro would nod his head and run down the mountain. Run as fast as he ever could, as he screams, Urokodaki, I need your help. Someone dropped a kid off here. Urokodaki already had Aiton's hearing, so he pretty much heard the conversation Krishna had with Tanjiro. He would get at the base of the mountain, with Tanjiro out of breath. My old friend's son, come on, let's take you to a place where you're safe, comfortable. He would set Naruto in a bed, cover him with a blanket. He would light a nearby fire, so Naruto would stay warm. Around this part, it should be getting cold. He's 2 mountains away. It was the next day. It was around high noon, and Naruto just woke up. The second he woke up, he realized there was a girl next to him. She had a bamboo as a muzzle. She was sleeping peacefully. He would get a slight blush as he really didn't recall what happened last night. When Urokodaki would open the door. You're awake, I see. Listen, we have something to tell you. As Tanjiro would follow after. I am Urokodaki, the former water pillar. And this is Tanjiro Kamado. Right now, my student. As Naruto would then remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Giyu Tomoka, Uncle Giyu, talked about you. Uncle Giyu? Tanjiro would reply. Yeah, Giyu and Rengoku, Kojiro Rengoku, were my dad's friends. I also knew about you, Urokodaki. She would talk about you sometimes too. As Urokodaki would give Naruto a note. This was posted to all the Hashiras and even former Hashiras, or people that were just genuinely close to Minato and Kushina, your father and mother. So Naruto would read. Thunder Hashira found dead by Tillman, and his wife found dead by decapitation. All of her limbs were severed off. So Naruto would begin to cry. He would remember that his dad was fighting a demon, but he didn't know he didn't know what he looked like. All he can do at that point was use one of his mother's techniques of the wind style and know how tall he was and his main build. But he couldn't really get a sense of anything else but that. Tanjiro would then state, listen, I understand your pain. My family was murdered too. So Naruto would then wipe the tears off his face. I'll kill them all. Every single evil demon. Every single one that dare do something like this to someone like me. Everyone's families have been suffered by these demons. And yet, they're still roaming. This pisses me off. I will become a Hashira. After that, I will protect everybody. And no one would have to become a demon slayer after when I become a Hashira. As Tanjiro would then take a note in his mind. I probably shouldn't tell him that Nezuko's a demon. As Naruto would then point out the muzzle on the girl. Who is she? As Tanjiro would then sigh. She's my sister. Oh yeah, Giyu told me your sister's a demon, right? But she's a good demon. As Tanjiro would take note. So he pretty much knows at least somewhat about me. Good to know. As Naruto would get up. Sorry. Naruto would get up. Hey, Urokodaki, could you please teach me in the ways of water style? Urokodaki would then point out, don't you already have thunder and wind? Naruto states, yeah, but 3 heads are better than 2. Urokodaki would then reply, your body can only handle so many breathing styles. Having all of them pretty much cripples a person, let alone having 3, and even having 2. Naruto would then state, well, I am an Uzumaki after all. Us Uzumakis are known to have multiple breathing styles. Plus, I'm also a Namikaze, so you know I can handle it. Urokodaki would then sigh, well, fine, I'll teach you the ways of water. But I can only teach you a couple of techniques. If you knew every single form, you probably could cripple yourself. I don't want that happening, do I? As Naruto shakes his head no. I'm sorry guys, I'm very tired. As Naruto would shake his head no. We're gonna skip 1.5 years. Naruto's been training with Tanjiro and he's actually learned a bit. But he can't learn all of them, so Urokodaki would restrict himself and make Naruto reteach himself thunder and wind, so he doesn't forget them. Naruto also learned about his father gifting him a sword, but Naruto will reject it until he becomes a true demon slayer. Then he will touch it. After that, Naruto and Tanjiro are tasked with cutting a boulder clean in half. Naruto and Tanjiro would struggle until eventually Tanjiro did cut it in half. But Tanjiro did not want to take the exam without Naruto, as he didn't want him to feel left out. So he kind of takes the exam a little bit later, but not too much. As around the same time, Naruto accidentally develops a new breathing style, storm breathing. And he was trying to replicate water wheel when he did it. So when he did it, it was cleaned in half vertically. But he thought just imitating water wheel wasn't enough. He wanted to be better. Instead of it being vertical, he wanted to be horizontal. So basically, on the way to the exam, which let's say it would take a week for them to walk there, each time they stopped, Naruto kept on trying to develop the styles that he would incorporate in his new breathing technique, storm breathing. He created 5 different ones, although they're all incomplete and imperfect, which means that they're practically useless unless he's fighting some weak demons. So until he perfects them, he vows not to use them unless, he knows they're a weak demon or he has literally no other choice. Eventually, he can't even use any other style but storm breathing as it incorporated thunder, wind, and water. So basically, by using the thunder, wind, and water all the time, he would just be sticking to storm style. Eventually, they arrive at their destination, and Tanjiro takes note at the wisteria trees blossoming at this time of the year. Naruto states, some places in Japan are just like that. My dad would take me to a place like this a lot of times, mainly to protect us from getting invaded by demons. We even used to live in the wisteria forest until some guys took it down. It was for the best though, as his nearby village was actually not hunted by demons for plenty of years. As Tanjiro wouldn't actually enjoy talking with Naruto, as he actually knew a lot. Unlike Naruto, we know where he's kind of dumb. I'm just joking. When Tanjiro goes to the final selection, he takes note of a few people. He takes note of a girl that seemed quiet. He noted her beauty, but Naruto would kind of jokingly, pick on Tanjiro, saying he has a crush. But Naruto would notice Zenitsu, as he pretty much state, this guy's trying to take my look. Naruto, like Tanjiro, would have a cloak-like thing, where it's just a bright orange, because Naruto actually liked the color orange. So it was more of a bright orange cloak around him, kind of like how Tanjiro had it. But his was like, bright blue. I'm sorry guys, again, I am extremely tired. I'm doing this late at night. It's like 12 right now. I'm extremely sorry. But, I gotta get this out like tomorrow. Sorry. Where was I? Oh yeah, it was. So, two girls would walk down, and they'll give pretty much the normal thing they did in the anime, explaining the final selection amount. And now they need to perform it within 7 days, survive for 7 days. If they don't, they die, obviously. So, and they'll be there within 7 days. So, veiled departure, Naruto and Tanjiro vowed that they shouldn't help each other unless they absolutely need to, so they tried staying away from each other. Now, around the time Tanjiro runs into the hand demons, Naruto accidentally does run into the hand demon as well, but he sees Tanjiro kill it at that time where he enters, so he thinks Naruto has the final selection in the bag, and he actually fights with a few demons, improving his storm style to the point where he's actually developed the 5 styles almost towards perfection. And, pretty much as expected, Tanjiro and Naruto passed the final selection, but Naruto does not want to actually select an orb, but he kind of has to. So he does select an orb more as a backup blade, if anything, as he doesn't really want to use it. So, they both go back. Urokodaki hugs them, noting that they are alive. Because Naruto doesn't actually realize that, what Tanjiro knows is all of his students were fucking dead. Pretty much all of his students. So, Naruto doesn't actually understand why it's really important. But he does know that Nezuko does come out. And he actually gets to see how cute she is. But, he doesn't actually want to say it. Because we know how Naruto is. Naruto and Tanjiro would, get their blades as the guy sees Naruto's hair. So, what's your name, boy? Your name. It's weird. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Isn't that the 2 family names of the 2 most famous slayers right now? The former Flame Hashira and his wife. That's Naruto with a nod. Yes, I was actually gifted his sword. I didn't really want to pick an orb. Oh. His sword was yellow with a bunch of thunder symbols on it. I wonder what yours would look like, actually. Some swords don't actually come out like your father's, with electricity shown. Some of them are just afros, colors. As Naruto would think. Alright. What he thinks what his color will be. As the guy's expecting his blade to either be blood red or bright yellow. But to everybody's expectations, when Naruto touches the sword, instead of being red or yellow, it actually comes out as orange. A bright orange. As Urokodaki is actually impressed. Orange? I didn't expect it from you. As Naruto is worried. What does orange mean? Urokodaki. Well, a lot of meaning in orange. It can mean childhood wonder. Or it can even mean maturement. Orange has a lot of meaning. But let's just say you have a better chance of being a Hashira than normal people. Your spirit is very kind. But yet, it's also very ferocious, filled with anger. As Naruto would then look at his sword and even want to touch his father's sword to see the change would happen, but out of respect, he didn't. He would then use the sword that was given to him, a bright orange sword. Well, I guess that's just who I am. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Urokodaki would smile. Well, your first mission should start soon. Tanjiro, why don't we see the color of your sword? It's like in the anime, Tanjiro still gets black. As Naruto actually is impressed. Black? Wow, that's impressive. As Urokodaki would then state, black. It's mainly the color that is less known. It's the less popular color, actually. But basically, people with black as the color of the sword don't really know what style they want. As Tanjiro worries, do you think I don't believe in your teachings? As Urokodaki chuckles, no. It's very rare, so we don't really know the full meaning of a black colored sword. but they're not really commonly Hashira. It's Tanjiro would sigh. I was really looking forward to that. Naruto states, just because of a stupid color in your sword doesn't mean you can't be a Hashira. Anyway, our first mission, when are we gonna get it? As Urokodaki was gonna say something, a crow would then yell, your first mission is in a nearby village. A nearby village. Go to east, go east. As Naruto and Tanjiro wouldn't look at the crow. As Naruto would ask, wait, you can speak? As Tanjiro would then sigh, but we all were assigned crows, didn't you not know that? As Naruto states, to be honest, I was kind of spacing out. The trees were just so beautiful. As Tanjiro would then put Nezuko in the box and then would carry her while they walked down the street. So, we're going to a nearby village. I wonder what demons we're gonna slay. As Tanjiro would then think, demons. Wait, I think Urokodaki forgot to tell you something, I mean. As Naruto would sigh, what is it now? That I keep eating too much? As Tanjiro would then state, no. He said, to me at least, maybe you were asleep or something. But what I know is that there are certain demons with very rare powers. They're called blood demonard. And pretty much to sum it up, they're extremely powerful. So if you really can't handle it, it's fine if I, as Naruto would cut him off. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I am son of a pillar, goddammit. I'm not gonna be losing to some low tier flu demon. Besides, I think we're both know what I want. To kill the demon that killed my mom and father. Until then, I refuse to die. Even if I get impaled, I'll just keep on going simply. Set my heart ablaze. As Uncle and Goku would always state. As Tanjiro would then sigh. Listen, all I'm trying to tell you is just be careful, please. As Naruto would then nudge Tanjiro. It's fine, I'm strong enough to handle myself. Now, let's hurry up. We don't want to... The longer we sit here and walk, the longer people... God damn it, I read that wrong. The longer we're here, the more chances that demon has to kill people. Sorry. As Tanjiro and Naruto begin to run. And that's where we're going to be ending off part 1. Holy golly, I literally wrote too much. I could cut it off. But this was a good point, and I'm extremely tired, and I really want to go to sleep. So please enjoy it. I'm planning on doing more of this. What if Naruto is in another series and then Naruto having the same power? I actually might remake this one. I wasn't really happy, but I need to get a video out this week. So it's either I either don't release it and make you wait 2 weeks, or release it and be a lot easier for me and you. So hope you guys enjoyed. I think this was on too long. This is reaching past 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure. So this is gonna be a long ass video and a long ass upload. But like I said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you really want to. I don't care. And see you later. Goodbye. What's going on, guys? I'm sorry this one was late. I'm also gonna be a bit quiet. I'm very tired. So if I sound weird, that is it. Hope you guys enjoy this part. We open up with Naruto and Tanjiro walking down the long pathway towards the village they were searching for, as the crow was directing them. Naruto and Tanjiro were very tired from walking all day, as the sun was about to set. Naruto, who was about to try and find a place to stay, when he realized there's no hotels in this village. Meanwhile, Tanjiro was trying to gather information about the demon. After a while, they stumble across a man mourning his fiance's disappearance. He looks dead, Naruto would comment. As the man would wobble, almost aimlessly, Tanjiro would talk to the man as he would say, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Everybody thinks I'm crazy." As Naruto would say, "Don't worry, we believe you. Now just tell us what happened." The man will explain that last night, him and his girl and him and his fiancée were watching fireworks. As the second he looked away and turned back, she was gone. As Naruto and Tanjiro almost automatically knew this had to be a demon. As Naruto would ask what she looked like, he said that she had very beautiful eyes and wore a bright red bow. As Naruto and Tanjiro began to look for her, well, her body, at least, as Naruto almost instantly believed that she was dead, as Tanjiro thought of some hope. Around this time, Naruto spotted something weird, a demon crawling into the ground. As Tanjiro smelled something awful, he would stop at that point where three demons would pop up. One with one horn, the second with two, and the third with three that was crunching, like grinding his teeth. Grinding his teeth. Naruto would state that he'll get to one of the three horns since it's annoying him. I'm sorry, I am extremely tired. I'm gonna try and finish this video. Anyway, so as Naruto already thought of his game plan, he charged in for a second thought, quickly aiming for the demon's head. Sorry, I almost fell asleep there actually, sorry. And my thing turned off, so I had to go back to the story. I'm so sorry. As he would then look at the demon, and he would yell, "Storm breathing first form, piercing wind," as he performed a horizontal slash. As the demon would just sink into the ground, Tanjiro would leap after as he would tell Naruto to protect the two people. As at the same time Nezuko would jump out the box, Tanjiro would then tell Nezuko to be safe as he went to attack the three demons alone, but two of them came out the ground, the third horn and the first horn. As Naruto would attack the second horn, Tanjiro would attack the second horn. Nezuko practically manhandles the first horn, as Naruto is having a bit of trouble, but all the while he's still putting up a good fight against the third horn demon. As Naruto would, as a finishing move, Naruto would yell, "Storm breathing, fourth form, Raijin's wrath," as he would jump in the air and perform a downstrike, cutting the demon in half, directly down the middle, as it would fade away into ash. Around the same time, the ground burst open with Tanjiro yelling, whirlpool, as the demon's head was cut off, and Nezuko was beating the crap out of the first horn demon, as Tanjiro would ask about Muzan Kibutsuchi. The demon would cry and plead that he doesn't know who he is. He even tried to attack. As Naruto would then yell, "Storm breathing, third form, flying Fujin," as he would cut the demon's head off. Naruto. I'm sorry. Naruto and Tanjiro would notice the sun is about to come up as Nezuko automatically got into Tanjiro's box. Tanjiro would look at the man as he would ask if he's okay, as the man would say his fiance died. There's no way that he's okay. As Naruto and Tanjiro looked at the man in remorse, as Tanjiro pulled out a cloth. I don't know what I got, but hopefully something of hers is in here. As the man opened it up to see a bright red ribbon. It's hers, he says, as he began to cry. Tanjiro would then tell the man that he needs to move on with life and keep going forward, as the man would pull Tanjiro, asking how he could possibly know how he feels, so he's just a kid. All Tanjiro did was smile and looked at the man. As Tanjiro and Naruto began to walk away, the man realized now Tanjiro's past must have been worse than his, as he would say sorry. All Tanjiro and Naruto did was wave back, and they left. Their next mission would lead them to Tokyo, as Naruto and Tanjiro's travel was a bit longer. Night already hit. Naruto went and sat down at a near restaurant with some ramen, as Naruto and Nezuko and Tanjiro would eat. But Tanjiro would get a weird scent. Telling Naruto to stay back, Tanjiro would follow. As Naruto sat there with Nezuko for a good few minutes, he began to realize Nezuko can't talk. As Tanjiro came back with another man, I don't really know his name, and I didn't put down his name. But do you know, if you know who Tamayo is, it's like, it's her boy toy or whatever. You know, the guy who's always young. I'm assuming we watched Demon Slayer before this, really listening to this What If. And I am extremely tired to look up his name now. Sorry. Anyway, so that guy, I think is Yoichi. I'm just gonna go for that. Yoichi would signal Naruto and Nezuko to follow them, as they did that to meet Tamayo. She introduced herself as a good demon who barely needs to drink any blood, only around an ounce. I'm sorry. It's like midnight when I'm recording this, because I forgot to record this during the day. I was with my friends all Halloween, so um, so they began to talk. Miss Tomeo would ask Naruto a question. So, how are you half demon instead of full blooded? As Naruto would explain that his mom was a good demon and his dad was the Thunder Hashira, and they got married and had me, a half demon. Although I didn't really inherit my mom's blood demon art, but I did inherit her strength and regen ability. Sometimes when I see blood, I crave it, but I'll learn to fight it after a while. Just told me I thought it was interesting in the quest to study his blood. He didn't really mind as long as she didn't do anything stupid, like poison him or something. As then he looked at Tanjiro. So, you're traveling with a demon and a half. Is not breaking some sort of rule. As Tanjiro stated, Naruto is a friend of mine, and Nezuko, my sister. I'm just trying to cure her. As Tamayo would explain that she can cure Nezuko, but she needs the blood of Muzan, which means all of 12 Kizuki. As Naruto would sense something weird, it was a feeling in his stomach, He then used his second form, Eye of Storm, and he told everybody to get down. Around that time, Yuichi told Tamayo to get down, as balls would fly across the room, as a demon with 6 arms and 6 balls would appear, and a man with an eye on his hands, who has eyes closed. Sorry. Eyes closed, as the girl would bounce the balls. "This is gonna be fun," she remarked. "Must feel special, dying to the members of the 12 Kizuki." As Tanjiro began to shake, as Naruto would put his hand on Tanjiro's shoulder. "Don't worry, they're lying. Look at their eyes." A 12 Kizuki member would have a number, and their rank and their number. For example, there were 2 different rankings, upper and lower, with 6 different numbers, 1 to 6. If they're part of the 12 Kizuki, why isn't it upper or lower any of the numbers on their eyes? They're just trying to scare you. Stay focused. As Naruto calmed Tanjiro down, Naruto would fight the ball demon as Tanjiro would fight the hand demon. Tanjiro, with the assist of Nezuko, was able to beat the hand demon as Naruto was struggling a bit, but was able to get the rhythm down after using Eye of Storm in a constant way, although he did stop to use it, which was a disadvantage. The balls were also extremely durable, which means it wasn't really easy. Naruto would then take a breath. "I didn't think I had to use this form," as he would then yell on the top of his lungs, storm breathing. 5th form, Sky Dragon Dance. As Naruto would constantly rotate his body while propelling himself forward, cutting every single ball that went towards him, as he would then cut the demon's head off. But before that, he would visualize his blade turning into a storm dragon. As he did so, cut the head off. In the girl's final words, she would look at him, and she would take her hand towards him. As Naruto would kneel over and hold her hand. As her last words were, "I just wanted to play one more game," as she would die. Around that time, Tanjiro would kill the arrow demon. When all was said and done, they set off to go to northeast. Tanjiro didn't know what was there, but they knew what it was. It had to be weird. As they were heading there, they stumbled across a boy with blonde hair. As he was crying, "In my next mission, I'm gonna die, so you have to marry me." As Naruto would just simply push the Zenitsu. Well, the boy in blonde hair, but let's be honest, we all know it's Zenitsu. As Naruto would ask what he's doing, the girl simply said, "I don't know who he is. He just climbed onto me and asked to marry me. I told him I have a fiance, but he won't stop." As Naruto would kneel over, "Look, you might be scared, but there's no reason to harass people." As Zenitsu said, "Yeah, but in my next mission, I'm gonna die." As Naruto would slightly smile. "Well, if you marry her, all you're gonna do is break her heart if you die in your next mission." As Zenitsu would automatically get angry. "Yeah, but I have to fulfill this one purpose of my life." As Tanjiro and Naruto at this point just looked at him in disgust. As Zenitsu would remark, "Don't look at me like that. Look, I'm gonna die in my next mission." As Naruto would say, "If it really means that much, maybe we can protect you. We're both demon slayers, just like you." As Zenitsu would thank them that someone could protect them. As they went to their next mission, they stumbled across a mansion, but along with that, they stumbled across 2 children. Naruto would ask what happened, as the 2 children said that their older brother was snatched by someone and they took him into that mansion. But they didn't want to go in there as they heard screaming. Around that time, a man flung out. As the man was crawling, I finally got out. I see he would fall and collapse. Zenitsu would say, his heart's not beating anymore. As Tanjiro would ask how he knew that without even getting close, as Zenitsu would explain that his sense of hearing was way better than the average person. As Tanjiro would remark, just like me and my sense of smell. And Naruto, just like me and that sense of awareness. As Tanjiro would bury the man, and Naruto would just simply get angry. He finally got out. At the end, he couldn't survive. As Naruto would ask if this is their brother they were talking about, they said no. Naruto would automatically walk in as Tanjiro did as well. Zenitsu asked what was going on as Tanjiro left the box. If you're not going to come in with us, you could always just protect that box. But, I didn't want to burden you with being someone else's hero. As Naruto and Tanjiro pretty much knew what they were doing. They were trying to guilt trip Zenitsu. Just like in the original, it worked. Even better than this time. As Tanjiro, Naruto, and Zenitsu walked in a trio, the little kids joined as well. As Naruto would ask what's going on, the kids said the box was scratching, and they were scared of it. As Tanjiro states, that box is worth more than my own life, and I wanted to trust you guys with it. As they kept on hearing screams. Naruto would then try and take the children back as the son realized they were in a different room. He would look back in the way they just came, and there was a wall there all of a sudden, as he just heard a drum struck. Naruto would then remark this must be a blood demon, as now he has to protect 2 children. He would tell them to follow them very closely. As Naruto would use Eye of Storm and could sense a demon was nearby, ready to attack. As Naruto would unsheathe his sword. Hey, I know you're there. Come out right now, Naruto would state. As a demon would appear across from the room. The demon had a long tongue with bluish grayish hair. As the demon would state, I never had much food in a while. Naruto would just look at the demon and sigh. So, he's weak. This is clearly not the demon that's using the drums. As the demon would get offended. Weak. I'm weak. How could you possibly say that? As the demon would try and pierce Naruto with his tongue, the tongue would simply cut in half. As Naruto would say, storm style. First form, piercing wind. The demon's tongue, now cut, was getting healed. As Naruto would say, light work. As Naruto would yell, storm breathing, 4th form, Raijin's wrath. As he would jump out and do a powerful dawn strike. The demon would jump back as then he tried using a counterattack. As Naruto would simply just say, 3rd form, flying Raijin. Flying Fujin, as he would have a horizontal slash at the demon, cutting his face in half horizontally, but the demon still be alive. As the demon is now severely hurt, not to do the finishing blow, but saying 4th form, Raijin's wrath, killing the demon by chopping its head off. As then he heard another drum strike, And now he sees a demon with drums next to Tanjiro and Zenitsu. As now everybody's here in the same room, Naruto automatically went after the demon as a drum struck again. Naruto was now all alone, worrying about the children, as he saw a kid in a boar mask. And that is where we're going to leave part 2. Sorry, this one was short. I am extremely tired. It is 12:30 a.m. and I need sleep. So, like for part 2, that's going to come out soon. Part 3. Like for part 3, I'm so sorry. Like for part 3, I need sleep. Maybe I'll make it next tomorrow or something. But like, I am extremely tired right now. So, good night.
What is going on, guys? It is Tyro here, and today we're going to be talking about What If Naruto Was in Demon Slayer Part 3. I hope you guys enjoy. You pick up with Naruto and Tanjiro fighting the drum demon. Naruto is having a rough time. He just got back from a fight, and his body's feeling kind of wonky. Although, at first, it seems like Tanjiro was getting a hang of himself. In this this universe, this series, Kyogai is gonna be a bit more stronger. So Tanjiro's gonna have it's gonna have a lot more trouble. And at one point, Tanjiro tries using, the special move that he uses in the original that I forget. I think it was like Water Flow Turbulent. And but this time he kind of messes it up, and Kyogai is going for a slash at Tanjiro. But Naruto pushes him out of the way, and Naruto gets hit with the slash. This would sever both of Naruto's arms. Luckily, Naruto's main body was still connected. But basically, Naruto's bleeding out from both of the arms, and he is fading from in and out of consciousness. He closes his eyes, like a blink, and then he sees his mother behind Kyogai. She has a bit of a glow on her, and she tells Naruto to get back up and don't let any of your friends die, and that he can't see them yet. Naruto's mother would then walk up to him and tap him in the forehead. And after this, it would blink again, but this time his eyes grew red, and he began to develop an aura of a bubbly, blood red substance. His arms began to grow back as he grabbed his sword. He would then say, "Thank you, mother, blood demon art, nine-tailed fox." I should probably explain what the blood demon art is. Since Naruto is half demon, it's a lot weaker than it would have been if he was a full demon. And I'm going to tell you the sadly one weakness that this thing has is that if any sunlight ever touches it, it automatically will turn off until it can get into either shade or it's just night. That's pretty much its only weakness. Also, it's an evolving blood demon art, because right now he has 0 tails, but obviously he'll get a tail, then 2, and yeah. So basically, Naruto has a 0-tailed form right now, but he still calls it the 9-tailed fox. It also will enhance his strength and speed and all. As he says this, Naruto would lunge at Kyogai as he would try and spin the room, when Naruto would say, "Storm breathing, 5th form, Sky Dragon Dance," and he would basically just use this form to adjust more to the rotating room. And even though he'll get hit by the slashes, he will regenerate faster than it can destroy his body. And he'll basically tell Kyogai that his blood demon art is so OP and cool before cutting his head off. But before that happens, Kyogai, after hearing it, would like stop deadly. Like, he doesn't even know what to do, as he's never been complimented like that before. And Naruto would cut off his head. Tanjiro and them will still survive, and basically, before Naruto's whole blood demon art fails, Naruto would use his blood demon art enhanced 2nd form, Eye of Storm, to try and look for a way out, which they do find, and Naruto would grab Tanjiro and the three children and run out of the mansion. Now, Zenitsu would find his way out as Zenitsu's getting pummeled by Inosuke for protecting the demon box, and Naruto was about to attack Inosuke, but all of his muscles will spaz as the blood demon has now worn off, and basically, because of how it enhanced his muscles weren't used to it. So now he's kind of stuck lying there for a little bit, and he's hurting. Also, his arms hurt a lot since he has enhanced muscles, and obviously it took a while for them to regenerate. And he also gets scars every single time he needs to heal, so he kind of has scars around his body a little, but they'll fade through time. Basically, Naruto tries to protect, but Inosuke, sensing that Naruto is somewhat a demon, actually, instead of trying to hurt Nezuko, he would go after Tanjiro, and Tanjiro would just beat the ever-living shit out of Inosuke, in a reasonable amount, as Naruto would tell him to stay away from as Tanjiro would tell Inosuke to stop trying to hurt his family. Inosuke would laugh as now he gets a challenge. And Inosuke and Tanjiro would just fist to fist, good old brawl. Kind of like in the anime, only now Tanjiro is even more motivated to try and at least enable Inosuke to not be able to fight anymore. As Tanjiro and Inosuke's fight kind of rages on for a little bit. Basically, Tanjiro beats Inosuke and thanks Zenitsu for protecting Nezuko, as after a few hours, Naruto would be able to move and would bury the dead body, as in this, it's only one. He'd bury the dead body, and he would pray that the person could finally see either their family or whatever, rest in peace and all. Inosuke would get up, and he would still ask why he didn't take care of that demon, or demons, as Naruto would explain he's half demon. As Zenitsu would just spaz out and freak out, asking how that possibly could happen, as Naruto would explain to Zenitsu that his mom was a demon, but she didn't like eating humans, and her will of fire allowed her to keep that human side of her, and she only needed a drop of blood. Well, at least she limited herself to a drop of blood, and that's why his dad met her. As the bird would come out and basically say it's time for R&R, ascend down the mountain and find a house with a mysterious sign on it. Naruto would kind of explain how his dad and mom met, which basically the story is that his mom was getting attacked by a few demon slayers. Even though she didn't eat anyone, the demon slayer still wanted to kill her, and that's when his dad, before he became a Hashira, stops them, as he states that she never ate a person before. And basically he was the Namikaze. He was of the Namikaze clan, and they're very famous for being pretty much masters of the thunder style. So they were kind of scared off. As he would turn around to see the young Kushina, as he would note her blood red hair, as she states that she's a Uzumaki, which Minato pretty much just is fanboying, as in this universe the Uzumaki clan are famous for their wind style, but not only that, they were pretty much known to be very well at the strongest, being very well taught by the strongest demon slayer alive. Well, not alive anymore, but basically the person who created the sun breathing. They were directly taught by him, and even they were pretty much known to be able to use it, but throughout time it became less and less known, and they just decided to adapt the wind style. And even one of the Hashira were known to have all 5 styles at one point, but he didn't live on for a while. And he was also the second Demon Slayer that lived past 30 with a Demon Slayer mark. Basically, after that, they would see each other more and more. Minato would try and keep her out of the sunlight and away from Demon Slayers. And basically, from there, they'd get married and have Naruto. And Minato was actually friends with Rengoku and Tomioka. Gyuto and all that. And basically, around that time is when they finally get to the Wisteria house where they can rest. The old lady would greet them, as she would note Naruto's sign on his back is an Uzumaki sign. As she would ask if he is an Uzumaki, as he states it is from his mother's side, and yeah, he is an Uzumaki. As she pretty much just gives him a hug, stating, "Demon or not, Uzumaki are always welcome here." As Naruto would ask how she knew he was a demon, she states that Minato would always try and visit every Wisteria house and give them loads of money and food to help the demon slayers. And from there, he requested that every Wisteria house would accept an Uzumaki, no matter if they're demon or not. Obviously, if they have a good soul and all that. After that, Naruto and gang would walk into the Wisteria house. Naruto would have his favorite type of ramen, as he would personally request it, hoping that it wasn't a problem. But she obviously says no. As Naruto would lie down, as she would ask Tanjiro how Nezuko has been, as he hasn't seen her in a while. As Tanjiro would tell Nezuko that she can come out in the next day. She does come out in Zenitsu, obviously does this thing. But Tanjiro blocks him from Nezuko. And he would get closer to Tanjiro, and then Naruto, in a comedic way, would block Zenitsu from Tanjiro, who was blocking Nezuko. Zenitsu would ask why Naruto is getting in the way. Naruto states, for around 2 years, he would train with Tanjiro and get to know Nezuko. Well, obviously she was asleep, but he didn't know how nice she was, and that he accepts Tanjiro and Nezuko as their siblings. And he would state that he would always try and protect them no matter what. And basically that whole comedic chase thing happens, and around the time of night, because of the whole mansion was surrounded by Wisteria, demons wouldn't get near there. And unlike Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, Naruto did not have any broken ribs. So for around a good chunk of the night, Naruto would practice his storm style, but he would also try and practice the flame style, well, at least the tiny bit of flame style Kyojuro Rengoku taught him as, a 13-year-old. As he was trying to make a new new breath style, the flaming storm style, but he can't get it down, as I'm just gonna say, in this universe, water and flames are not compatible with each other. Just for simple stuff. So it's extremely hard for Naruto. But he is practicing the flame style. And just so you guys know, Naruto only knows the first form, which I'm pretty sure is called Unknown Fire. So yeah, Naruto is trying to just perfect that so he can finally incorporate that into his demon slaying, his new demon slaying style. As the old lady would see Naruto practice, Naruto would ask how long she has been standing there, and she states long enough to know that you're just doing what Uzumaki are good at. As Naruto would ask what she means, she kind of explains the whole history of Uzumaki and how they're also known to be able to make their own styles easier than most demon slayers, because they're just indecisive of what style they want to master. So they just thought they should incorporate as much as they can. And the most famous Uzumaki was actually able to incorporate all 5 styles into the wood style of demon slaying. Although he wasn't an Uzumaki yet, Uzumaki by marriage, as he was technically a Senju, but they died off very quickly because, most of them were in the heat of battle of demon slayers. As Naruto would remark wood style, that's something he's never heard of. As she would state, wood style incorporated every single demon slaying breath at the time, which was water, flames, thunder, rock, and lightning, and created wood style with it using every single form. and mixing them and also stuff like that. Every single form that was compatible, at least. Naruto would remark, "Wood style sounds kind of lame, or at least lamer than his going to be new Inferno Storm style." As she would then tell Naruto that it's probably going to be easy for him considering the fact that he has the will of fire in him. As Naruto would ask what that actually means, as he heard his dad say it a while, she would just stand up and walk away, as she would then turn around in a kind of a dramatic sense and tell Naruto, the will of fire is something that only you can know. It's different throughout everybody, but it has one common thing. It has to do with your passion. And she would walk away, kind of in the darkness, as Naruto would comment how dramatic that was. And he would continue training as his body would ache and just decide to go back and rest. The next day, their next mission will take them to Mount Nyoboku. If I got that name right, I have it written down that way. But their next mission should take them to Mount Nyoboku, as Naruto would thank the old lady for all of their support. As she would spark rocks, Inosuke would ask what that means, as Naruto would tell Inosuke it's a sign of good luck. As he would ask what good luck means, Tanjiro would basically say she hopes they get out of battle well. As Inosuke, like always, would take that as an insult, him thinking that she thinks that he is too weak. Naruto would just drag Inosuke, telling him that they have to start moving now if they want to get to Mount Nyoboku anytime soon. And that is where we're going to leave off part 3. I know this is more of a filler part, but I really do hope you guys enjoy. As part 4, I want it to be so grand and stuff. And, I want part 4 to be very impressive. I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to, I don't care. See ya. What's going on, guys? It's Tyro here, and today we're going to talk about what if Naruto was in Demon Slayer part 4. I hope you guys enjoy the what if. Honestly, did I already say thank you for 200 subscribers? Because thank you. I think I said that last video, but I just wanted to just clarify how much that actually means to me, though. But anyway, let's get started with the what if. We open up with Naruto and the gang heading up to Mount Natagumo. Gumo. Shit, I cannot read. Natagumo. They stop when Zenitsu gets a little scared. He pretty much crawls into a curl ball state, and he asks if they're actually gonna head up that scary mountain. Naruto would look at Zenitsu with more of a heartwarming eyes instead of the daggers that Tanjiro and Inosuke are practically giving him, as Naruto tells Zenitsu that he is strong enough to handle any demon. Zenitsu is shaking his head, pretty much telling Naruto he's a liar, as Naruto would then look at Zenitsu and ask if Zenitsu honestly thinks that he would lie to him. Naruto would tell Zenitsu that you've seen Zenitsu's skills, and even though you don't know it yet, you are extremely strong. As Zenitsu would say, you claim that I've beaten these demons, but I don't remember any of it. As Naruto would then tell Zenitsu the secret. Zenitsu, you sleepwalk. That's why you don't remember anything. You move when you sleep. That's how you've been beating the demons. As Zenitsu would be shocked at this revelation. How come no one's told me? As Zenitsu would look at Tanjiro, as he'd be kind of doing he would put his hand behind the back of his head, and do a whistling tone, trying to avoid the question. Naruto would then tell Zenitsu, look, you might not know it, but you are strong. Your body knows you're strong. You just need to know you're strong. As Zenitsu would get a confidence boost from this, and actually would take the charge in heading up the mountain. As he heard scary sounds, Naruto would just tell Zenitsu that all he has to do is think of a happy place, thing, or person, and he'll be calmed down automatically. Zenitsu would then calm down and think of a happy place, which would be at his Gramps dojo. This is where we get a flashback to when Zenitsu is training for his grandpa, but we don't really see a lot. We only saw the basic stuff like his grandpa making sure Zenitsu actually gets his training done and all that. When they head up the mountain, Naruto senses something weird. He turns on his blood demon art to enhance all of his senses just in case, as he doesn't want to use Eye of Storm yet. Naruto would then tell Tanjiro to look out as he would push him out the way as a random demon slayer would cut off Naruto's arm. Naruto would go black, but it's taking too long. As the demon slayer would say he's sorry, but he literally has no choice. He can't help, he's moving on his own. Naruto, with his blood demon art turned on, can sense the webs, as he tells the entire gang that this guy is being controlled like a puppet right now. They actually cut over him, not on him. As Naruto would take out the sword with one hand and cut up to him, the guy would fall down, and the guy would look at Naruto. "Please kill me," he would ask. Naruto would ask what he means, as the guy states that all of his bones in his body are broken. He's killed all of his friends and family, and he can't live with it anymore. And all he wants to do right now is die. He would ask for Naruto's mercy and just kill him already. Naruto would set the guy into like a kneel down position, the guy's head low. Naruto would ask if the guy has any backs out, because after this, it's over. As the guy would begin to cry. "I'll finally get to see my family, my friends again. If that's what it takes, then please perform seppuku on me." Naruto would have tears in his eyes. He's never taken out a human life, and even demons are hard for him. But right before that, the guy automatically jumped up and started swinging at Naruto, this time slashing at his gut. All of his intestines started to fly out, but they would slowly revert back into his body and start healing. The guy would then state it's happening again, as Tanjiro would then tell Naruto that they have company now, as a bunch of demon slayers would pop out. They're crying, just like the man, asking if they can kill them. Naruto would ask what's going on, as then one demon slayer that doesn't seem to be controlled is pretty much asking them what's going on. Naruto would then state that they were sent here to help. As Naruto would ask what this guy's name, he would say his name is Minato. When hearing this name, Naruto could only think of his father's name, Minato. Small world, I guess. As he would ask Minato what he's doing here, Minato states that his entire group, all of a sudden, when going on this mission, decided to move on their own and started killing each other. Even the dead bodies began to move. It's been freaking him out this entire trip. He couldn't get out the mountain even that day. As Naruto would ask how long Minato's been here, Minato would explain that he's been here for 2 days and is starting to feel completely dehydrated. And honestly, he would let himself die, but for some reason there's this voice in the back of his head telling him to keep fighting, that someone will help him. Naruto would shake his head as Tanjiro would basically compliment Minato on how much willpower he truly has. Zenitsu would get into his thunderclap and flash dance, and would ask Naruto if we should actually kill them or only strike above them. Naruto would think about it for a few seconds. If it's webs, then there's something on them, which means we'll be here forever. We have to locate the source. So Zenitsu, since you're the fastest out of all of us, and Inosuke, since you have dual blades, you two should cut off the webs from the people, as me and Tanjiro would think. Inosuke would then state, "Wait, how about Tanjiro how about Tanjiro and Zenitsu cut off the webs, and you and me can sense for them?" As Naruto would ask if Inosuke has some type of blood demon art. As Inosuke would then state, "No, just good old breathing." As Inosuke would then he would stab the ground and say, "Beast breathing." Beast breathing spatial awareness. As Naruto would say, good thinking. Naruto would use Eye of Storm, which is enhanced because of his blood demon art. Inosuke would state that he senses a giant spider with a head and a giant man, pretty much built like an entire building. Naruto would then state that he senses a boy, but his neck is as thick as 10,000 trees combined, and he can sense a womanly figure controlling the webs. After Minato pretty much gets the hang of cutting above the heads, Minato volunteers he'll stay back and handle these guys, and that you guys should go after the 4 other demons on the mountain. Naruto states he's going to go after the little boy, as his neck is extremely thick, and he believes that his sword can actually deal with the cuts. Naruto then tells Tanjiro that he should probably go after the demon that's controlling all of the webs, as Tanjiro seems to be the swiftest and more accurate out of all of us. Tanjiro would shake his head and automatically run that direction, as Naruto would point around west. Inosuke states he's going to go east, as that's where the dad demon is, and since it's the biggest, it has to be the strongest. Naruto would go up to Zenitsu, as he would see Zenitsu slightly shake. As Naruto would put his hand on Zenitsu's shoulder, he would tell Zenitsu that he can definitely do this, and that if he comes back alive, he'll cook him up something his mom used to make. Zenitsu would smile, thinking that Naruto is super nice. Zenitsu would run down south, and that's where the older brother demon was. Naruto would head straight up north, up the mountain. Right now, we're going to cut to Tanjiro's POV. Tanjiro is running around the forest and using a super heightened smell to pretty much track where the mother demon was. It would be a lot harder fighting her secret weapon, quote unquote, considering the fact he doesn't have Inosuke with him, which means he can't get out of a pinch. But Tanjiro still figures out how to cut the neck even if there is no neck. Tanjiro would pretty much run as fast as he can and would try to attack the demon directly. She would panic trying to figure out a way to kill Tanjiro, but she really has nothing. She accepts her fate and puts her hands out towards Tanjiro. Tanjiro noticed that she's accepting death, and he would change his grip using Blessed Rain out of the drought, which would kill the mother demon. Before she dies, she states that one of the 12 Kizuki are here, and he appears the weakest. But don't judge a book by a cover. That's what they say. She'll die. After Tanjiro realizes that what she said means that it's either Naruto or Zenitsu's in trouble. We're going to cut to Inosuke's POV. Inosuke's fighting the dad demon right now, and he's making quick work of him, considering the fact that he's in his first form. He cuts off the demon's hands, and the dad demon panics, running away. Inosuke would run after the dad demon, as he crawled up a tree. He would then shed his skin and pretty much get a power boost from it. The dad demon would grab a tree and throw it at Inosuke, but Inosuke dodged it just in time, as he would stay beast breathing rip and tear, but unlike in the original, his blade actually breaks. Or did it break in the original? Whatever. His blade would break, both of them. Inosuke, realizing how strong the demon is, the demon would grab Inosuke by the head and start squeezing while lifting him up. Inosuke would say sorry to Naruto, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu, and saying their name correctly this time, as he would apologize for being so weak. Just then, all of a sudden, the grip loosened. He got back on his feet and stumbled a couple of feet, as he saw a man with black hair and a weird kimono. The man would look at Inosuke with dead eyes. He would ask if Inosuke is okay, as Inosuke would ask who he is. He would then state his name is Gyu Tomioka, the water pillar. As Inosuke would remember water and would ask if he's Tanjiro's older brother or something. Gyu would look back at Inosuke, you know Tanjiro Kamado? As Inosuke would say, yeah, I think he went... I'm sorry, wait, hold on. I can't read for a second. Yeah, I think he went east. Or was it west? As Inosuke was switching the two, Gyu would then just decide to go north. Inosuke would ask if Gyu can train him, but Gyu just declines. Inosuke would then get his blades and tell Gyu that they had to fight right now. Gyu would grab a random rope and just tie Inosuke to a tree, stating that if you want to be a Hashira, you have to get out of it. Besides, it's not like a demon can hurt you. There's only 4 demons on this mountain. As Gyu began to walk up the mountain, we then cut to his Zenitsu's POV. Zenitsu is not shaking with fear. If anything, he's beaming with confidence. He was told that he can do it, and unlike in the original, because of this confidence, he performs even better. Yeah, sure, he got bitten, which startled him a little bit. And even though the older brother demon was explaining, Zenitsu just cut the crap and started to kill him while he was explaining what's happening to Zenitsu's body. The older brother demon would ask if he really wants to know, as Zenitsu states that all it is just a poison, and if he can get a good doctor, it would stop it. Besides, even if I'll die anyway, I still need to kill you. Zenitsu would try and use Thunderclap and Flash threefold, as he can't do 6 yet. Or at least he can't do it mentally yet, like unconscious. As the blood was rushing, he accidentally causes himself to faint, but it wasn't out of fear, mainly because of his own body. The older brother demon thought it was out of fear, but when Zenitsu looked like he was going to hit a tree, he began to sleepwalk again. His entire body moved on its own, and he landed safely. He would then say in a dead tone, thunder breathing, first form, thunderclap and flash 6-fold. He would then kill the older brother demon, landing on the small house. He would then wake up, realizing that he did a job well done. He would look to his left, and he would see something weird. He would see his grandpa, but it would make no sense why he's there, as he must be thinking about him ever since he got that letter. Yeah, it's gonna happen a lot sooner then. Ever since he got that letter. Gramps would then look at Zenitsu. Remember all your training, boy. His Gramps would then run away. Zenitsu would begin to breathe slowly in order to slow down his heart rate so the poison does not travel as fast. Then some weird butterfly girl shows up asking if he's okay. Zenitsu would then look around, seeing a lot of medical demon slayers. And Zenitsu would ask who she is. She would say that I am the insect Hashira. Zenitsu would smile slightly. At least I know they're going to be safe. Now we're going to cut to Naruto's POV. Naruto running directly towards Rui wouldn't even give time for Rui to explain himself, as what Naruto walked into was Rui brutally beating another demon. Blood was practically everywhere. Naruto would draw his sword and began to attack Rui. But then Naruto would have a cramp because his arm wasn't fully healed yet. Neither was his stomach. Rui would kick Naruto away, asking why Naruto was getting in on his business. Naruto would stand up. Aren't you guys all family or something? Why are you hurting her? As Rui would then state, she isn't doing her role right. She's supposed to be my older sister, yet she hasn't protected me at all. I've been protecting. As Naruto would look at the kid's eye. As Naruto would stand up. Isn't that kind of unfair? I mean, you are part of the 12 Kizuki, aren't you? As Rui would look at Naruto. As Rui would then repeat, getting louder and louder. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. As Naruto would stand up. You know, I hate bastards who don't appreciate their family. As Naruto would then prepare for his new attack that he's been training for the past couple of weeks. It's new, but hopefully it gets the job done. As Naruto would perform a new breathing style. Inferno Storm Breathing. Form 1. Inferno Tornado. As Naruto would visualize flames surrounding himself into a giant hurricane/tornado. Naruto would then leap forward as he remembered Rengoku's training. Rengoku would pretty much explain the flame style. The flame style has always been direct, heavy slashes. No matter what, as long as you are direct with it, the slash doesn't matter. As Naruto would then state, if I mixed up the first form of flame breathing and the first form of my own breathing, this should do the trick. As Naruto went go for a heavy downward slash, Rui would just simply use his blood demon art, as he would notice that Naruto was using his. The web would then turn a blood red as Naruto's sword would snap. Naruto would think to himself that it snapped just like a twig. Rui would then gut punch Naruto, sending him flying to a nearby rock. As Naruto would state that his blood demon art isn't working. As he remembered what his mom said, that his blood demon art will always evolve. Naruto would get back up and tell himself that he has to win, because if he doesn't, he won't be able to save any of his friends if they're in trouble. Naruto would stand up and remember something Rengoku once said. If you're ever in trouble, just set your heart ablaze. And that's exactly what Naruto did. He controlled his breathing and leaped forward. As every single step took to get closer, it was another life he remembered that he had to save. Another one that he had to let go, as they were already dead, and just mourning them will get in the way. As he would then close his eyes, thanking his mother and father for giving him a strong body, his father for training him in the art of thunder, his mom for training him in the art of wind, Rengoku and Giyu training him in the art of flame and water. As Naruto truly believed that this is probably when he was going to die, and he might as well just say his thanks before. As Rui would then use his blood demon art to try and cut Tanjiro into like cubes, since Nezuko would actually jump in the way of Naruto. She would take the hit. She wouldn't die though. It was more like deep cuts than anything, as her body was more durable than Naruto's, considering the fact that he was full demon instead of half. Naruto would automatically stop. Seeing Nezuko, she was practically a sister to him. She would fall down, and pretty much Naruto would have to catch her. As Rui would ask if that's Naruto's sister, Naruto would look up with rage in his eyes. It's not, but she's definitely like one. As Naruto would ask Nezuko where Tanjiro is. Tanjiro would run in and automatically attack Rui for doing that to his sister. He would yell water surface slash as Rui would jump back. As Tanjiro would look at Nezuko, he would realize all the blood that's just oozing out of her. The blood was practically going, to Naruto and Tanjiro's eyes, the blood was practically covering the mountain, which both lit a fire under them. Naruto was now thinking that Nezuko was dying, or dead, as he couldn't hear her heartbeat anymore. But that wasn't because it stopped. It's because Naruto filtered out everything except for Nezuko and Tanjiro. Even sound. Naruto, thinking that he couldn't save his mother and father, and now his technical sister, it really enraged him. Tanjiro the same. He couldn't save his family, and the one person he chose to protect is now, to his eyes, dead. Naruto and Tanjiro would think back, way back, to their respective lives. Naruto and Tanjiro would then walk up to Rui. Naruto would have a bubbly aura with one giant tail, but the tail looked more like a hand with claws. Tanjiro would then use a breathing technique, not seen by anyone. Tanjiro would then yell Hinokami Kagura, as Naruto would yell Blood Demon Art One-Tailed Fox. Naruto and Tanjiro would attack Rui in unison. As when Rui would jump, Naruto would just simply grab him and throw him back on the ground. And when Rui was trying to attack Tanjiro, Naruto would grab Rui and pull him back a little, So Rui's hit wouldn't land, but not Tanjiro's swing would. It was basically a game of. It was basically a one-sided brawl on Naruto's part, as Rui would get the beating of a lifetime. Naruto would practically make sure Rui stayed alive and suffer as long as possible. By near the end of it, all of Rui's bones in his body, except for his spine and his head, were practically broken, and the only thing keeping him up was Naruto. Tanjiro would then say Hinokami Kagura, clear blue sky, and send Rui flying up into the air. While using Hinokami Kagura, sending him back down to the ground, pretty much Rui is cut in half, which wouldn't kill him. His upper body practically was positioned correctly for Naruto, as he would then say storm style, piercing wind, killing Rui, decapitating him. Naruto and Tanjiro would look at the dead Rui, as unlike in the original, Rui definitely couldn't have cut his head off before. Naruto would then hear a heartbeat, so would Tanjiro, as they would run towards Nezuko, as she was healing herself. Surprisingly, Nezuko survived. Sadly though, she didn't activate her blood demon, well, not yet. Naruto's entire body was aching, as because of his blood demon art, which wouldn't mix well with his human body, all of his muscles would contort and stuff. Considering the fact that his blood demon art requires his blood to pump faster, his muscles to, be used more than the average. Basically, it's like Kaioken, if y'all want to know. Tanjiro would practically be out of breath and fainting in and out of consciousness. But Naruto would tell Tanjiro that it's not over, as he senses a lightweight person going straight for Nezuko. As Tanjiro would draw his sword, someone else would already be in front of him. The man would kick the girl out of the way, as he would tell Kocho to back off from his nephew. Kocho would get up and tell Gyu that this is why nobody likes him. As Gyu says that he is liked, she would just begin laughing, as Naruto would yell, he was friends with my father, As Kocho would smile, wow, you really did pick up your mom's catchphrases, didn't you? As he would ask what she means while saying after, he would then begin to blush and cover his mouth. Damn it, I really am getting her catchphrases. As Gyu would tell Naruto to start running down the mountain, and that he already has all of his friends at the Demon Slayer headquarters. As Gyu would then tell Kocho that he's not going to let her hurt his best friend's son, his nephew. As Kocho would then state, yeah, but they're protecting a full-blooded demon. As Naruto would then state, there's no way she's evil though. She just protected me. That's the way I was able to survive. As Kocho would then look at Naruto and ask a question. As a demon, are you able to heal yourself? As Naruto would nod yes, as she would then cock back her head. Obviously the delusion of a boy who's scared. As Gyu would then look at Kocho, but more of a death stare. He was pretty much radiating an energy of, if you keep coming at me, I'm gonna kill you. He would then tell Kocho that she has one more chance to back off, or he will not hesitate and kill her. She would slightly back off, but then just tell one of her students to go after them. As Naruto would grab Tanjiro and Nezuko and run. He would run as fast as he possibly can, as another girl was ganging on him. Naruto would look back, and this girl just looked like the other one, but a lot smaller, and had a skirt. Naruto would activate his zero-tailed state, as he was just trying to get away, but obviously this hurt like hell, as he would scream. But the girl still kept on gaining on him, so Naruto used his one-tailed state to push her back. Naruto began to cough blood, but he would remember what Goku said, set your heart ablaze. So Naruto kept on running. He pretty much ran until the birds stopped him and told the little girl that they had to take Naruto, Nezuko, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu to the headquarters. Which, by the way, Zenitsu and Inosuke are already on their way to the headquarters. He would then describe Naruto and Tanjiro and Nezuko, and Inosuke and Zenitsu. Gyu and Kocho would stop fighting, as Gyu would then run towards Naruto. As they're walking to the wagon that's going to take them on to headquarters, Gyu would ask exactly what happened. As Naruto, with his entire body aching and in Gyu's arms, like Gyu's holding him bridal style, but like it's not like that, Basically, Naruto would explain that they were on this mission, but things just went down south. At first, they had everything under control, but for some reason, his anger got the best of him. As Gyu would say, it's not his fault, and that surprisingly, everybody came out of this with barely any scratches, and the only one that seemed to have any damage is Yu and Tanjiro. As Naruto would ask, what about Nezuko? Gyu would say, she has a couple tears on her body, but her skin seems to be okay. As Naruto would ask what time it is, Gyu says it's almost sunrise, so they have to get Nezuko into the box now. They do that exactly before sunrise, before Nezuko can even hit sunlight. Tanjiro wakes up and starts panicking when Gyu tells her that she's in the box. Tanjiro would then sit back down as Naruto would tell Tanjiro, I think it's time to rest. As Naruto would pretty much brag, as team captain, I order you to take a rest. As Tanjiro would ask Naruto who made him captain, Naruto would say himself. Tanjiro would just smile and go to sleep, as he would then whisper, aye, captain. Gyu would then smack Naruto, and Naruto would ask what that's for, as Gyu would then state, well, as your superior and your uncle, I order you to sleep. It's time. As Naruto would state that he's kind of scared to sleep now, and that he's not really that tired. As Gyu would say, well, you will be, so sleep now. As Naruto would try his best, all he can do is think of what happened that entire night, and especially what happened to Nezuko. But he did eventually fall asleep when he calmed himself down. Naruto would wake up to a not so friendly sight. When he woke up, his arms were tied. Naruto would realize that he's tied to a tree. Naruto would ask what's going on, as his legs were tied as well. And his neck was also tied, but it wasn't like too, like it wasn't choking him or anything. It was more of a, to keep him restrained. So he wasn't really hanging from there. Well, he was, but like, you know what I meant. Basically, Naruto would see the sight ahead of him. A couple of people with unique designs. A girl with pink hair. A guy in a tree with snakes. A guy staring at the clouds. A guy with 2 giant swords. Naruto would look at all these characters, but the one that stuck out the most was Tanjiro, knocked out, and Zenitsu in the shade. But she wasn't out of her box. Naruto would look slightly to the left as he sees Gyu and Rengoku pissed off, running towards Naruto, trying to help him. As Gyu would yell, don't worry, nephew, we'll get you out of this, I promised, I won't let them hurt you. As Gyu would tell the rock pillar to let him go right now. As then they'll see the Wind Hashira walking up. So this is Minato's son. What a disgrace. As he would unsheath his sword and slash at Naruto's gut. Naruto would scream in immense pain, and this just pissed off Rengoku and Gyu more. Rengoku got past the rock Hashira, but not by brute strength, but more like a juke. But Gyu was still getting held back because of his body compared. Rengoku would grab a wooden sword and use unknowing flame on the Wind Hashira, sending him flying back. As Naruto's body began to revert, as Naruto's intestines began to revert back into his body, around the same shape, and his body began to heal. Rengoku would cut Naruto off the tree and try to unloosen all of his the rope that's tied to him. The Wind Hashira would rush at Rengoku, and this is when they'll have a fight. Kocho would then yell at both of them, saying that they're being childish, as Rengoku would stare at Kocho in a more deadly stare. But the Love Hashira would just simply argue that they should all just calm down and wait for the headmaster, which he appears right on time. As the headmaster would tell Rengoku, Giyu, and I forget the Rock Hashira's name, and honestly, I'm just not gonna tell you till until he appears in the anime. I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna refer to them by their, element if I don't really know their name. He pretty much tells everybody to sit down, calm down, and all that. Rengoku and Giyu are extremely pissed, and Tanjiro is pissed as well, as not only are they having Nezuko as a hostage, but they just hurt his best friend. As Tanjiro would ask where Zenitsu and Inosuke are, the guy of the headquarters will speak softly. They're at the butterfly estate, getting properly healed. Now, about your predicament. Tanjiro Kamado, you've been traveling with a demon. Explain. As Naruto would yell, listen, she's not like the others. She's like my mom. She has a will of her own. She literally protected me. I'm telling you. As the Wind Hashira would yell, these are obviously words from a fool. There is no way a demon could be like that. As Naruto would look at the Wind Hashira, then explain how I'm here. As the Wind Hashira would just sigh and look to the left. Look away from Naruto, basically. As the Love Hashira would then state, that is a good point. Minato and Kushina were a great power couple, and Kushina was 100% demon. As Naruto would then state, even my blood demon art is hers. So I want you to explain, how am I here if that isn't the case? As the Wind Hashira would just look away from Naruto even more. As Naruto would yell at him to explain. Then he would then state, Kushina was different from all of them. As Naruto would then state, yeah, and so is Nezuko. As the Wind Hashira would look down and remember Kushina. Remember how sweet she was to him, unlike the rest. Even Minato had a slight annoyance of him, but because of Kushina, his attitude towards him even changed. While remembering this, he would then ask the headmaster if Nezuko can be a demon that hunts demons. If Nezuko can be a demon and a demon slayer. As Tanjiro and Naruto would look in amazement, and pretty much everybody else. As she would then ask the headmaster if Nezuko can join their ranks, and doesn't really mind if Nezuko hunts demons with Tanjiro. As the headmaster would ask why such a change in tone and basically his own opinion, he would then state, the boy's right, Kushina was different, and maybe she's different as well, but we don't really have a way to prove it, do we? As he would then state, wait, we do. As the Wind Hashira would ask Tanjiro if he can open Nezuko's box. Tanjiro would nod in agreement. As he would open Nezuko's box, she would get up. He would then cut his own wrist to show blood, but she paid no mind. She would even walk past him, looking at Naruto and Tanjiro, waving hello, as she knows she cannot go into the sun, so she tries to stay as far away from as possible. The Wind Hashira sighs. Well, now we know. As he would then order the girl to go back into the box, which she does, and she even closes it herself. He would then go out into the sun. Alright, we know the answer. Now, let's just take him to the Butterfly Estate already. As the headquarters master, who I keep forgetting the goddamn name of, with this then nod in agreement. Alright. Court adjourned. As she would walk back. As the Love Hashira would then tell the headquarters master to get well. As she would then sigh, yeah, all my children, rest. As she would then walk back. Naruto would be escorted to the Butterfly Estate and get settled in. And when he sees what's happened to his former comrades, he kind of has a sigh of relief, as Zenitsu would go up to Naruto and hug him. But we'll more like wave Naruto towards him to hug him, because he can't really walk. We didn't thank Naruto for everything he said, as because of him he's now alive. Naruto would pretty much say, no, it's all you. You are the reason why you're alive. Don't pin your success on me. As Inosuke would then tell Naruto, I'm sorry for being so weak. I promise I'll get stronger. And I'll even surpass all the Hashira. As Inosuke was pumped up instead of being depressed. Naruto would lay in the bed. As he remembered, he can finally see his uncle Giyu and Rengoku, as he would then run out. But before actually getting out the door, Giyu and Rengoku were already there, as Giyu would order Naruto to go back into the bed. Naruto would get settled, as Giyu and Rengoku would ask how Naruto's been, and how he's been settled with Urokodaki. Naruto would state that with those 2 years of being with Tanjiro and Nezuko and Urokodaki, they're almost like family now. As Giyu would nod, well, at least you're settled. As Rengoku would then state, I've been hearing some rumors that you activate your blood demon art. I would like to know how it works, please. As Naruto would state, all I know is the names. I don't really know how it works it myself. But for some reason, every single time I use it, my muscles ache with extreme pain. As Rengoku would then state, well, that's a shame. Anyway, as he would stand up, I must be off. As Naruto would ask what's going on, Rengoku states, I had to investigate this thing about a Mugen train. It shouldn't be that hard. Besides, I have a bunch of missions on my way there anyway. It should take me only about a week to actually get to the train itself, though. I'll write you a letter back. As Naruto would say, oh, if it's a week, then maybe I could go with you. As Rengoku would then state, well, I'm not going to be off exactly. I mean, I have around a month before I actually need to get there. Maybe I can train you. As Naruto would then tell Rengoku that he needs to go save lives. As Rengoku would be off. Now, I am only making a week instead of like maybe a couple months like in the anime, is because Naruto and gang didn't actually suffer a lot. Mainly it's Zenitsu, and all I'm gonna do is say he's gonna actually drink the medicine more, and I'm just gonna say it speeds up the process. Also, rehabilitation training doesn't happen as normal, as they don't really need it. And Naruto already knows about total concentration and constant, and actually try and teach Tanjiro and Zenitsu. But he would mainly ask Kocho to train them. So yeah, they pretty much do this all under a week. Well, not really under a week, it's more of a week and a half. And Naruto is pretty much ordered to go to the Mugen train. As Naruto is happy he finally gets to be on a mission with Uncle Rengoku, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke are seen off by Giyu, as he's actually going their separate ways too. Naruto would walk by as he sees that little butterfly girl with the skirt again. He would actually go up to her as he would then state, look, I think you're really cute, so maybe after I finish with this mission, I could take you on a date. As she would then just play on a coin and flip it. As Naruto would ask what she's doing, she lands on heads and would explain, this coin dictates whether I can talk or not. As Naruto would slightly get a bit angered. Why should you let a coin dictate what you say? I want you to answer me from the bottom of your heart. As she would flip the coin again, but Naruto would just grab it in midair. As Naruto would take the coin. Tanjiro pretty much tells him that they need to be off, as Naruto would state he'll be right there. In fact, keep going, I'll catch up anyway. They ascend the mountain towards the main town, as Naruto would grab the coin. Look, how about this? Heads, you have to follow your heart. And tails, you have to follow your heart. As she would then state that that's a very dumb thing to do, as either way, she'll have to follow her heart. As Naruto would state, well, you let the coin dictate, right? As he would flip it up and grab it, as he would show heads. as she would put it back onto her palm. See? Now, could you please answer my question without the coin? As Naruto would stare her directly in the eyes, she would just say yes. If you do come back alive, I'll go on a date with you or something. Naruto would begin to walk off while waving her goodbye, and around to the point where she's out of sight, he celebrates to himself. As he began to catch up with Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, as Naruto would state, we need to get our blood pumping for the mission. We're jogging. As Zenitsu would ask if we're jogging the entire way, Naruto would state, no, we're just going to jog most of the way. They jog up until night, where they finally catch up to the Mugen train. As Tanjiro would ask how they got here so quickly, Naruto would state, missions can take a long time for Rengoku, especially since he wants to be as thorough as possible. That might explain why it takes him a week and a half to get here. As Naruto and Tanjiro realize the train's actually about to leave, Naruto gets onto the train. Pretty much everybody gets on the train. Naruto walks up and sees Rengoku and sits with him. And that is where we're going to end off part 4. This is a long part. Oh my god. 43 minutes. Actually, round it up to 44 and probably 45 for this outro. I'm just gonna say this now. Part 5 might be the end of the series so far. Until season 2 is out completely, I do not want to cover anything in season 2. I didn't even read that far ahead yet, so I couldn't, legitly couldn't if I wanted to. So yeah, just I hope y'all enjoy. Part 5 is gonna come out whenever. I might do it if Naruto's Madara Part 2 after, unless I want to retcon it again. Oh no. Sometimes I do that on accident. I accidentally retcon. It's mainly the way I write, so yeah. Thank you again for 200 subscribers. Honestly, I cannot stress that enough. How much I am just flabbergasted. That number. Like, I never in my life thought I would get to 200. I remember, there was a point where I almost wanted to quit because, I saw no point in it. But no, you guys proved me wrong. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I even heard that some people like the longer videos, but, I don't know. If you made it this far, comment, flame. Just flame. Comment flame, and I'll heart the comment and give you a shout out next video. Because it really tells me if you're watching these or not. So, yeah. And, it's 9 something, so I'm just gonna say good night, y'all.
Yo, it is Tyro, and today we're gonna talk about what if Naruto was in Demon Slayer Part 5. Now, to be honest, this is probably gonna be my last part on this series for now, mainly because this is gonna take place in the entire Mugen train arc, and until the season 2 anime finishes the I think it was called the entertainment arc. I'm probably not gonna cover it because I don't want to either spoil people, and also I'm not even that far in the manga, so I don't want to skip up until the entertainment arc. So I just rather wait until the anime's done. So for now, this is probably gonna be my last part, and I might even make a movie of all these parts so far. Without further ado, roll the intro, man. We start with Naruto on the Mugen train. He would sit next to Rengoku and in front of a red-haired man that he didn't recognize. Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro's box, which hold Nezuko, would sit on another part of the train. Naruto, this is my old friend, Nagato Uzumaki. Nagato would wave at Naruto. Hello, Naruto. Like Rengoku said, my name is Nagato Uzumaki. Like your mother, I'm a demon who refused to eat humans. Naruto would be amazed. He thought his mom was the only one. Nagato saw the confused look on Naruto's face. Well, the thing is, Uzumakis are known to have very strong wills. So to be honest, it's really easy to for us our clan to refuse being turned into a full demon. Nagato would laugh as he would state, I'm pretty sure the Uzumaki clan is the only clan that refuses to eat humans when turned into demons. Naruto would then look at Nagato's eyes. They were purple with black rings. It almost hypnotized him. You're staring, Naruto. What's on your mind? Naruto would snap out of his gaze, hearing his voice. I'm sorry, it's just your eyes. I've never seen anything like that before. As Nagato would reply, don't be sorry, it's my beloved demon art. It's very complicated to explain, but let's just say I have multiple of them. As Naruto would ask, wait, multiple? But just then, a man who looked pale and sick and almost like he hasn't eaten anything in a week would walk up and collect people's train tickets. Your train ticket, please. His voice sounded dead. Naruto, Nagato, and everybody would hand the train ticket. As Nagato had a bad feeling, he would then look in Naruto's eyes. Naruto, look at me. As then everybody went to sleep, but Nagato and Naruto knew they were asleep. What's going on? Naruto would ask. Look, Naruto, it's one of my abilities. I can tell what a blood demon art instantly looking at the demon or the blood of the demon. For example, when I looked at you, I instantly knew what your blood demon art. You blood demon art allows you to boost your blood flow, and which increases the production of your muscles and your body heat. You also get this bubbly aura that you can conjure and pretty much turn into a claw. And the stronger you get, the more tails you'll get. That's why it's called the nine-tailed blood demon art. Naruto would be surprised. I mean, he didn't even know how his demon art even worked. All he knew is that every single time he activated, he was slightly more angry. Nagato would clap his hands, and Naruto and Nagato would wake up. Naruto, go kill the demon that's causing this. I'll wake up the others. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. And don't look at his direction. I know that will be hard, but if you do, he can put you back to sleep again, and that'll be trouble. Big trouble. Because of Nagato's soft words, he normally would, try and fight it, telling Nagato to do it, but he couldn't resist but do what he asked. Naruto would use Eye of Storm to try and figure out where the demon was. It didn't work, so he had to use Eye of Storm constant while moving. He eventually figured out he was on the roof and jumped up there. I didn't expect you guys to break out of my gaze. My dreams. Enmu would state. Naruto would just keep his eyes closed. How was your dream? I thought I made it very pleasant. I mean, seeing your mother, father again? Who would pass that up? Naruto would just keep his eyes closed. Well, that sucks. It looks like I might have to put you back to sleep. As Enmu stated this, Naruto would yell, "You're wide open," as he would then use piercing wind to cut his hand off. And then he would use Sky Dragon Dance just to kill him. His head would roll, as Naruto would state that that fight was too easy. As Enmu would then begin to talk, as Naruto would open his eyes to see what he thought was impossible. That worried look. Are you confused? You shouldn't be. I mean, I'm not the real demon's body. Hell, the head you're talking to isn't real either. Because the real demon body, as Enmu's head began to grow a very muscular, tentacle thing from the train. My real body is fused with the train. But hearing this, Naruto began to chuckle, even laugh a lot. What's so funny? As Naruto would explain the flaws on his plan. If you're fused with the train, then you can just tell people to not go on this train. As Enmu realized that he's kind of right and what he did was a bit stupid, but he wouldn't show it. I can kill everybody in this train right now. As Naruto would state, yeah, but with the Flame Hashira and how fast he is, I highly doubt it. I also have my friend Zenitsu, who is known to have the Thunder breathing style, which is another fast style. To be honest, you killing all these people is a slim chance. And we start to get a bit angry. Naruto, knowing that he put Emu off his flow, would try and relay this information to Nagato. Nagato, then he would see Tanjiro and Rengoku starting to get up. Naruto would then tell the three. So listen, the demon is the train. As Tanjiro had a bit of a worried look, Rengoku would just smile. Well, that shouldn't be hard to kill him then. As Naruto would ask what he means. Rengoku states that there's only two options. The head is most likely at the front of the train. All you gotta do is just cut off the head. Around then, the entire walls, floor, and ceiling of the train began to get a muscular, fleshy, coating. But we better hurry. As Naruto would then look at Tanjiro. Me and Tanjiro can handle the train demon. Tanjiro nodded his head in agreement. Naruto, after explaining how to pretty much his blood demon art, Tanjiro would state that this might be a bit harder, but he can still use his sense of smell. They would get on the rooftops and run directly towards the front. As Rengoku would look at the tentacles trying to kill the people. What an ugly mess. As Rengoku and Nagato would use breathing styles to destroy the tentacles. Around this time, Zenitsu, Nezuko, and Izanosuke were actually woken up to help. Now we cut to the front of the train with Naruto and Tanjiro. Naruto would use the Eye of Storm constant. Naruto would point at the middle of the train. That's probably where the neck is. Tanjiro would jump down and use Waterfall Bison. It would reveal the spine. That's a tiger, Tanjiro exclaims. As a giant eye would grow from the side of the train, looking at Tanjiro's direction. As it began to say sleep, Naruto would yell Raijin's Wrath and have a giant downward strike onto the eye. You can't let that thing put you to sleep, alright? As giant tentacles, as the train would boost the size of the front, giant tentacles would try and kill Tanjiro and Naruto. They would jump from tentacle to tentacle to try and get to the bottom, but it kept them pushing, so Naruto and Tanjiro would stay at the top. Well, I mean, like high, far from the spine. Sorry. Because of Naruto's Eye of Storm constant, he pretty much dodged every single eye that tried to put him to sleep. And every single eye that tried to put Tanjiro to sleep was pretty much killed. Tanjiro would be using Constant Flux, as Naruto would be using Sky Dragon Dance to destroy pretty much any tentacle that tried killing them. Inosuke would then run to the front of the train, using Crazy Cut to destroy all the tentacles from the base, which gave him enough time for Naruto to use Raijin's Wrath to cut a very deep cut into the spine. Then Tanjiro would ask his father to bring him some strength, as he would then yell clear blue skies, ending the demon off. But because of this, the train was about to derail. Naruto, seeing this, activated his one-tailed state. I can slow down the train if I can use my claws and make it go at a slower pace. Although this might be a bit hard. You guys need to make sure all the passengers stay safe. As Naruto would begin to jump off the train, he would run at the train's speed. He would then use one tail to grab at the train and try and slow it down, but it wasn't working. Shit, I'm only slowing down the middle. The front and the end aren't slowing down with me. As Nagato would see Naruto, he would open a window. Naruto, Calm down and focus. I'm trying, Nagato, sir. If you keep this up, I could probably stop the train with one of my techniques. Just calm down and start breathing. Then Nagato would shut the door and go on the rooftops himself. He would run faster than the train speed. Naruto would think. He would think to all the people he might lose if he doesn't get this done here and now. Rengoku, his uncle Rengoku, the person who taught him the flame breathing style in the first place. The only person besides Gyu who knew his father and mother. Naruto would activate his two-tailed state. He thought of Tanjiro and Nezuko. They were pretty much brother and sister to him. Zenitsu and Inosuke, people he cared for. And Nagato, a person who was ready to help him, even though they don't know each other. And of course, the 200 passengers, who would die because they were simply people. He would activate his two-tail state and make one tail hold the back of the train, and the other tail to hold the front of the train. He would then begin to slow down speed, which it actually helped this time. Nagato would jump in front of the train, as she would then yell, "Almighty push!" A gust of wind would force the train to dead stop. And this would cause Naruto to keep on running without realizing it and start to stumble. But Nagato caught him. "It's okay, Naruto. You did enough." Nagato would set Naruto on his back. "Just breathe." After a few minutes, Rengoku walked up to Nagato. "All 300 passengers on board are safe. All 200, sorry. Passengers on board are safe," announced Rengoku. Nagato would look up to the sky, around a half an hour till daybreak. As then they heard a giant crash. "Good. That's a half an hour for me to kick your ass." Nagato and Rengoku and Naruto would look at the unfamiliar voice. That's as Nagato would exhale. "Great. Upper Moon 3. Just to make our job even harder." Naruto would see what they're talking about, and he would recognize. That's Akaza, the third upper moon. Nagato got into a fighting stance. "Naruto, can you move?" As Naruto tried. "No, Nagato." As Nagato would yell. "Rengoku, take Naruto and get into a safe distance." "Nagato, the demon who overcame the sun. I'm honored to fight you, but sadly, I have to take those eyes from you." Nagato would use a concentrated Shinra Tensei, or an almighty push, to keep Akaza at bay, but Akaza dodged it and he went for an air-type attack. He would then shoot a giant punch, which was compressed air, but Rengoku would block it with his sword. "As a Hashira, I must fight alongside my friends to protect these people," Rengoku said proudly. Nagato and Rengoku would double team. Pretty much the whole strategy is Rengoku would go for heavy attacks, and every single time it seemed like Rengoku was about to get hit, Nagato would use Chobaku Tensei to pull him back. Nagato would then use a concentrated almighty push or a Shinra Tensei to push Akaza back. Eventually, Nagato was able to get him into his strongest technique, planetary devastation. He would then smash the giant rock onto Akaza. He tried dodging it, but the only part of his body that actually survived it was his head, a bit of his shoulder, and one arm. Nagato looked at the sky. 10 minutes until sunrise. Looks like you're fucked. as Akaza is trying to get freed, he's pretty much crawling, begging to get this thing off him. As Nagato states that the only time it's probably gonna get off is around sunrise, which means that when it gets off, as Nagato would put a finger around his neck and make a selection motion, get off. Akaza pretty much is begging and pleading. "I have so much to live for," as Nagato states, "and so do these 200 passengers, and yet you want to take that chance away from them. How selfish can you be?" As Akaza would try and remember all of the times he could have died, and yet someone else had to save him. That pissed him off. Eventually, sunrise was about to come, but Akaza, with sheer willpower, got out from under the wall. from under the rock and was able to regenerate the rest of his body. He then began to run away. And Goku was about to chase after him, but Nagato would stop him. Look, we've done enough work for the day. Besides, if he tries something again, we'll just kill him. As Rengoku would nod. Nagato would carry Naruto. As Naruto would state that Nagato's hair is very beautiful, Nagato would laugh. They would then check if everybody's okay without any broken bones, as they found out of the 200 passengers, only 5 were injured. And those 5 were the Demon Slayers. Naruto would black out. Then he would wake up in the butterfly state. What am I doing here? Naruto would ask. As Aoi would walk up to Naruto. You need to stop coming here, you know? It's really annoying. You have, let's see, 1 broken rib, well, cracked rib, lucky for you, and a broken leg. Great. As Naruto would look down. I'm sorry. As I always say, don't say sorry to me. Say sorry to... I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I really cannot pronounce her name. I think it's Canal. Fuck. Yeah, don't get mad at me if I say her name wrong. You promised her to go on a date, and now look at you. You got to take a date here. As Naruto would say sorry again. Aoi would leave and Kono? I can't say her name for the life of me. Shit. She would walk into the room worried. She would then ask if Naruto's okay, as Naruto would just simply say sorry, but she would smack him. Don't say sorry for something like that. You saved people's lives. As Naruto would begin to laugh. She would ask what's funny, as Naruto would state, look, you didn't even have to flip a coin for that one, did you? As she would kind of blush a little. As Naruto would simply smile. Good. It's okay to be mad. And that is the last part of What If Naruto was in Demon Slayer. Well, last part so far. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like and subscribe if you want some more. I'm not gonna do any more of this What If until season 2 is either completely done or I caught up in the manga, and the season 2 one's probably gonna be done before that because I'm like reading One Piece right now, so yeah, they're not. Yeah, I hope you do enjoy. I know wasn't as long. It wasn't as long as I hoped. I thought it'd be like 40 minutes long because of how much I wrote. But hey, it's either, just gotta, 18 minutes is great, bro. And it's gonna be like 20 minutes when I'm done. I'm talking too much. Goodbye, and have a lovely day.